At first glance, the two may seem like very distant fields, but when examined more deeply, this is far from the truth. Today we will talk about the ideas of Karl Jaspers, the renowned German philosopher and psychiatrist who laid some of the most fundamental foundations of modern psychiatric thought. Jaspers was among the first to argue that psychiatry does not deal solely with empirical data, but is also a philosophical field that seeks to understand human life and thought. What a person feels, how they perceive the world, how their thoughts take shape. These cannot be fully explained through blood tests or imaging techniques alone. It is precisely at this point that psychiatry intersects with philosophy. The fundamental question Jaspers asks is this: can psychiatric experience be understood solely through causal explanations? This is in fact one of philosophy's core questions as well. Can human experience be grasped only through scientific methods, or does it also require understanding? At this point, Jaspers makes a crucial distinction: explaining and understanding. Explaining is based on cause-effect relationships. Brain damage, genetic predisposition, and neurochemical changes fall within this category. Understanding, however, is something entirely different. To understand means to grasp what an experience signifies for the person who is living it. According to Jaspers, psychiatry cannot be content with explanation alone. If we only explain, we reduce the human being to a biological object. For this reason, Jaspers introduces a method from philosophy into psychiatry: phenomenology. Phenomenology aims to describe the contents of consciousness without passing judgment. In psychiatry, this means listening to the patient as they are, without first deciding whether their experience is right or wrong. Instead of labeling a delusion as nonsensical, it asks the question, how is this thought experienced by the patient? This approach moves psychiatry away from a mechanical diagnostic system and toward a human-centered discipline. Jaspers places particular emphasis on psychoses. According to him, some psychiatric experiences cannot be understood empathically. At a certain point, lived experience falls outside our chain of understanding. For psychiatry, this is not a deficiency, but an acknowledgement of the limits of the human mind. This idea is profoundly philosophical because here Jaspers accepts that knowledge is not absolute. From this emerges a very important warning. Psychiatry cannot explain everything. Diagnoses, models, and classifications cannot encompass the entirety of human experience. If psychiatry forgets this, it risks becoming a dogmatic field. This is one of philosophy's most important functions for psychiatry, to remind science of its limits. According to Jaspers, the human being is neither merely a biological organism nor solely an abstract consciousness. The human being is a bodily existence, but at the same time a being that creates meaning. Therefore, psychiatry should not reduce the human being to a single dimension. This perspective also strongly overlaps with existentialist philosophy. The human being is not merely a functioning system, but a meaning-seeking being. If today in psychiatry we speak of concepts such as listening to the patient, understanding lived experience, looking beyond diagnosis, the philosophical foundation of these ideas rests largely on Karl Jaspers. In short, psychiatry is inevitably in need of philosophy whenever it deals with anything human. Philosophy, in turn, offers psychiatry a way to think about human experience without objectifying it. What Karl Jaspers accomplished was to make this relationship visible and to ground psychiatry in a human-centered framework. Psychiatry can become a truly humane science only insofar as it seeks to understand not just the mind, but the human being's relationship of meaning with the world.